Alright, so the Pixel 10 Pro XL, if you haven't seen one of these style of videos that I do, it's when I take a brand new product where there's a whole bunch of videos out there, so I try to tackle things from a different angle, maybe cover some of the other things that you haven't seen in other the videos, but I can't always guarantee that that's going to be the case, especially if you look at this video a few months later, by the time there's going to be a lot more videos out there. Anyway, let's just get right into it. The first thing I want to talk about is Pixel Snap. I know everybody else has covered that to death, but I kind of don't get it. I mean, I do use MagSafe and I do use Qi, but why do we need it built into the phones? Like, all this does is just increase production costs and also makes the phone a little bit heavier. Here is my Pixel 9 Pro XL with this case for mouse, and look at that. I've had Pixel Snap forever and every phone has it, so like, I don't understand what the big deal is with adding it to the actual phone itself. And if you have a case that does not have these magnets built in, even if there is a magnet in the phone, it still won't work. The magnet won't be strong enough to go through the case, so it just absolutely makes no sense to me. I think Samsung did it right where they made it Qi 2 ready, so you don't have to have the magnets built in. This is a bigger phone, but it still manages to be lighter than the Pixel 10 Pro XL. Anyway, I just found that odd that everybody's making a big deal out of magnets when I've been using magnets on every single phone I've had. Once there's magnets on the case for like years now. But thankfully, on the new Pixel case, they did include it. That's another thing too. There's no need to put magnets on the phone directly when everyone uses a case. There's not much occasions where I see people not using a case, especially on their flagship phones. I do not see much other reviewers covering what the case looks like on these phones, and it's good. It's better than last year. Even though it is silicone, it's not as grippy as before, so it's not as difficult to put in and out of your pocket. There's not that much texture. I really do like this case, but for the purposes of this video, I just won't be using this case. I'll just showcase the phone caseless. So let's tackle this build and design, or the lack of any updates to it. This is my Pixel 10 Pro XL and my Pixel 9 Pro XL. They look and feel identical. In fact, the dimensions are the same, so there hasn't been much updates to the actual design itself, and I guess I'm okay with that. I thought it would bug me more, but once I started using it, I didn't mind it so much. One thing I would have liked them to fix though are these bezels. I think they're a little bit thick and heavy for being in 2025. Just look at the Galaxy S25 Ultra compared to this. You could have fit a bigger screen on this. And even more so, the smallest bezels I've ever seen is from the Nubia Z70S Ultra. Another thing that you guys probably heard, they got rid of the eSIM tray, but it looks like they gave us an extra speaker, and the speakers do sound pretty good on this phone too. Yeah, the difference is a bit subtle, but it is noticeable. This does fill the room a little bit better. The bass sounds a little bit more full on the Pixel 10 Pro XL. And another cool case I got is from a company called Thinboard. Not sponsoring it, they just sent me all their cases for free, so I just figured I'd at least mention it. It's one of those incredibly thin aramid fiber types of cases, and I really like it. I'll leave links in the description for that. So next is the software. This is my favorite part, but I'm pretty sure the regular Pixel 9 is going to get it too. I just love the way this new interface looks. All the cool little animations throughout are just insane. It's just a lot of fun to play around with, and it just gives this phone a lot more polish in a way that Android, especially Pixel's version of Android, never really had. Their software to me always just felt a bit like Spartan. Not much to it, just very simple and very basic. This is the Google team really having fun with the design and the animations of this phone, and I just like everything about it has just been such a joy to use all day long. I love finding little animations throughout my time using it too, so yeah, nah, that part has been awesome. I do want to talk about this USB port for a second. They are advertising 45-watt charging, but you only get 45 watts when the battery is incredibly low. Anything after like 40 to 50%, it just ends up going down to 8 watts. So charging from 0 to 100 will take like an hour and 20 minutes-ish, but 0 to 50 will happen in like the first 15 minutes. It's a bit of false advertising, but Google's not the only manufacturer that's guilty of doing this. They all do that, but I still just thought I should mention that. The next biggest thing is the AI, and there's some cool stuff. The Screenshot app got an update, and it's using some local AI now, so when I take a screenshot, You can see it's doing like some AI magic here, and then it realizes that, hey, this is an event. Maybe I can add it to my calendar, and look at that. The entire event is created for me with the address and everything, so I don't need to do anything. So now if I wanted to, all I would have to do is just save this event, and that would be it. That's the kind of stuff that I find really helpful too. And the other thing that they announced that works with AI locally on the phone is Magic Cube, but I've been trying all day and I'm not able to get it to work. So I just sent myself a series of messages, just trying to simulate things. So I even created some events, put it in my Gmail, did like a restaurant reservation, like right through Google Maps using OpenTable. And then I just tried asking like, hey, where are we going to dinner again? Which is what they did at the event. And I just can't get it to work. Maybe we need an update, or maybe it just takes some time for the AI to go through my phone and scan everything and then learn everything. But as of today, it's just not working. I was really looking forward to showcasing that today, but I guess I just can't do it. So next, like onto the performance. And yes, everyone has mentioned that this uses the new Tensor G5, which is now being manufactured by TSMC instead of Samsung. And I was wondering if there's going to be any performance uplift. So apparently there's a new NPU, and that's how you're able to do a lot of this stuff locally with the AI. But like I said just now, I'm not able to get a lot of it to work. So then I just ran some benchmarks. This is the Steel Nomad Lite benchmark. It is a GPU test. It is more of a gaming test, but AI uses GPU. And Steel Nomad in particular, which is why I really like using it, is it stresses both the CPU and the GPU simultaneously. And to my surprise, the Pixel 10 Pro XL got the worst score out of any other phone that I've had since I started testing this. Weirdly enough, the Pixel 9 Pro XL did better, so I don't know if maybe we need some updates or something's going on here where this phone is not performing as well. And then here's another thing. This is the Nothing Phone 3. This is one of my favorite phones. I mean, there's a big chance that when I'm done reviewing all these phones, I might just end up making this my daily phone. I love everything about it. And when this phone came out, it got a lot of flack for not having, quote unquote, a flagship level chip or SoC. But this is outperforming both the Pixel 9 Pro XL and the 10 Pro XL. And it's actually pretty much on par with the iPhone 16 Pro Max. So I don't understand, why does this get to be a flagship, but then in some people's minds, this doesn't get to be a flagship? It doesn't make any sense to me. But this whole performance thing is just really overblown and overdone. Like, I'm just opening up several apps at the same time, and they're pretty much drawing at the same time. So this whole performance thing is over. The performance on all modern phones now are just good enough. So I think we can give up this whole performance thing. And finally, I do want to end it with the camera, but unfortunately, I didn't really get a chance to go out and take too many pictures today. Today's my first day with the phone. I made a decision to not go out anywhere and take pictures, but to use the phone and get familiar with it and find cool things to talk about in this video versus doing like a camera deep dive. There will be a time for that, so if you do want to see that, subscribe to the channel. And also, I'm almost at 10,000 subs. If you guys want to help me out, man, I would really appreciate that. So please hit that subscribe button. Anyway, so far the camera seems really good. What I love the most is they don't oversaturate the colors. They let the colors stay true to life, but they still have like a unique pixel tone and look to them. I took a lot of photos of my family and stuff, but they don't want to be on YouTube, so unfortunately you can't see that. But the skin tones are always just very well preserved. And even this front-facing video that I took while I was outside, and also when I wanted to test out the microphone. Alright, so I'm just testing out the front-facing camera at 4K. However, I always love the color science that they use, especially on my skin tone. It looks really cool. I'm also testing out the microphone. I'm wondering how this sounds. One thing that is new though is the ProRes zooms. If you take the camera and you zoom in all the way up to like 100%, it's going to use AI to come up with what it thinks is the photo should be. So it's not really a photo anymore. It's just like a digital representation of what Google thinks is. So like, take a look at this photo I did of the Nothing headphones. So the first picture is using the macro lens, and as I zoom in, you can see what the text is supposed to look like. Nothing uses a dot matrix style of font, but then look what Google came up with. They did their own thing and they didn't really nail it. It looks completely different, though it does look cool. So AI came up with how this Nothing should be portrayed instead of using the dot matrix, which is what was actually there. So this is just the stuff I was able to find with me having this phone for about 12 hours. Imagine what will happen after I have it for a week or even longer. And I do plan on doing follow-up videos to this, including a full review. So if you do want to see that, again, please get subscribed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.